Okay, so we're going to do the empirical probability example number 3. We have a survey that collected data. So whenever we have that keyword that the data was collected, or we're going to base our probability on something that was collected, some information that we already found out empirically, then we know we're going to use empirical probability. The Triola textbook calls this type of probability relative frequency probability, but they're the same thing. Here's our formula for empirical or relative frequency probability. We're going to need the frequency of the desired class, and we're going to need the sum of all the frequencies. So the first bullet point question, if you want to call it that, is going to ask us what's the probability that a person sleeps 8 hours per night according to the frequencies that we got from the survey. So what's nice about this problem is that they already tell us what the total is going to be. So that sum is going to be 100. Now we just need to find how many of them slept exactly 8 hours per night. So here it is. It's going to be 28 over 100. So the second bullet point, we want to find the probability that a person sleeps fewer than 7 hours. So this is not going to include 7 hours. It's going to include anything before that. So that would be these two categories, less than 6 hours. So probability it's going to be 12 over 100. Plus the probability that is 6 hours. So actually I'm going to erase that and then I'll add them. So that's 26 over 100. So eventually to find the probability that they sleep less than 7 hours, we would do 12 over 100 plus 26 over 100. And that's just 38, yeah. There you go. So the third bullet point, we want to see a probability for the people that sleep at most 8 hours. So at most, this does include the 8. It has this little symbol that has the equal sign. And in my notes, I put a little table to help you with these keywords. Sometimes students, really what's stopping students is the keywords. They don't really know how to relate it to the symbol. So I have a table for that in my notes. So at most 8 hours, that's going to include this category. Less than 6 hours, then it's going to include the 6 hours, the 7 hours, and remember it does include the 8. So it's going to include that category as well. So it's going to be 12 over 100, 26 over 100, 30 over 100, and 28 over 100. And that's going to be probability sleeps less than equal 8 hours, 96. There you go. So finally, we want the probability that they sleep at least. Let me put it here, at least. So the symbol for that is going to be greater or equal to 7. So that's going to include this probability, and notice that we have the equal sign there, so it's also going to include that one. So we would do 4 over 100 plus 28 over 100 plus 30 over 100. So this is going to come out to 62. And that's it for this problem.